Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a lovely Easter. So, I took a trade early this morning and I just wanted to share that trade with you. So, let's start on the 1 hour time frame just to kind of set the stage for what I was looking at for this morning. Now, I did not do an analysis yesterday for everyone because the previous Sunday was still in play. And what I mean by that is that this 4 hour BISI remains the most, I guess, important or prevalent. And we discussed this not this past weekend, but the weekend before. We discussed this area here remaining unbalanced and being a draw on liquidity. And sure enough, last night when the market opened, where is price going? Well, price is being drawn to the area that is unbalanced. So anyway, that's why I didn't do a video on Sunday, and because this remains relevant. So and here we are on our way down to the bottom. So let's take a look at what happened with Asia. So that's on the 1 hour. So now let's just go down to the 15-minute and let's take a look at Asia and London last night. Okay. Make this as big as I can here. So normally I like to see Asia range, because when Asia ranges, meaning this high, low, high, low, high, low, I like to see this because this means that liquidity is being engineered above and below. And then we wait for a movement either above or below, and then we take a trade in the opposite direction. But that did not happen last night with Asia. Last night, Asia did a trend move. So a trend move means we started here, oops, and then we trended down. So when Asia trends, there's not as, in my opinion, there's not as great an opportunity to trade London. So Asia trended, and then we saw price move up. Again, this is on the 15-minute, but we'll drop down to the 5-minute shortly. So London traded up into London and then dropped a little into this consolidation area here. So let's go down to the 5-minute and we'll take a closer look in terms of why that was of significance. So here we are, we've got Asia trending, okay? And then we have a consolidation here until we get to London. Now, when London opens, we have a change in the state of delivery. And so what does that look like? Well, these candles here are a sudden change in direction. So this is a change in the state of delivery. And then London came into a consolidation area between 3:10 a.m. and about 7 a.m. So this area of consolidation. What follows consolidation, and what does consolidation do? Well, consolidation engineers liquidity below and above. Okay. And why is that significant? Well, following consolidation, we are waiting for a breakout, either to the upside or the downside, and we did not get disappointed. So here is the manipulation. So price broke out of this consolidation, drove up. This is what we call manipulation here, and then proceeded to drop off at quite a fast rate. Now, again, this is on the 5-minute, and I like to be on the 5-minute when I'm looking for an entry. What again do we have here? Well, we have breakaway gaps. So this is a breakaway gap. So we have 1, 2, 3. It's comprised of a fair value gaps. And we have, the first one on the 5-minute is just shy of a breakaway gap, but the second one definitely is. So 1, 2, 3, where the third candle closes below the second candle. That's a breakaway gap. And ICT tells us that a breakaway gap usually happens at 20 to 30% of the move. In other words, it has 30 to 70% left of the move. And just by looking at what we got here today, that seems to be pretty accurate. So this is at the 20% and it still had 70% left in the move. So just wanted to share that. Price opened up this morning. So here's our 9:30. Move that over. Here's our 9:30 open. We had, I'll just remove the 5-minute Sibi candles there. And if you guys follow me, you know that I trade the 5-minute open range gap, which is just a really simple scalping strategy. And so I took the 5-minute low and I took a trade in here, and I'll just show you that in a second. We'll drop down to a lower time frame. And so when price rejected, I went short. And I just want to reiterate how important it is that no matter what strategy you trade, context in terms of what is happening in the market, what is happening with price is fundamentally important. If you lack context, your rate of success with these strategies will be markedly lower. It's really important to understand trend. It's really important to be able to read candles and to look at the greater context of what is happening. So in my view, we had manipulation, price dropped, we consolidated, price came up. This is another manipulation here, and then price dropped again. So I want to be in sync with the order flow of the market. So that is just something to consider. If you're finding it kind of frustrating that maybe your strategy that you're using doesn't have as high a success rate, spend some time watching videos on understanding order flow and candlesticks. Like just good old basic candlesticks. What's a bearish candlestick? What's a bullish candlestick? What's a high probability? What are the breakaway gaps? How to identify those. So let's just pop down to, I guess we can look here. I'm just going to open up where I took the trade. Okay, so the market opens. Let's go down to the 1 minute. Because on the 1 minute, that's what I'm looking for. Just take this off here. So when the market opens at 9:30, I'm looking at candle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here is my 5-minute candle low. Move this over. So here's my first candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my high, there's my low. And here's my first fair value gap, which ICT says is quite instrumental for the day. Okay, so price moves down, rejects heavily from here, but we already know that order flow is bearish, okay? So I'm expecting this. I'm expecting that there's going to be rejection off the 5-minute high here. So price comes down, and then we're in a very important level, which is the previous week low. So I anticipate, there's the dog barking, I anticipate that there's going to be some up and down in this area here as buyers and sellers determine who's going to take charge of this area. Okay, so I'm in no rush to take a trade. I'm just watching very carefully. So here price comes down, and then we have an up candle, a down candle, an up candle. Then we have this nice kind of sell-off here. Then we come back up to this area just below the 5-minute candlestick area. But again, even though I'm using this strategy, I'm watching the previous week low because this is a pivotal area. So I'm using sort of both of these in confluence with each other. So when I see these 3 wicks reject from here, I decide to get into the trade. So I entered with 3 contracts at 18,074. And because price has already moved down quite a lot, I started to pyramid out a little bit early. I could have held on a little bit longer, but you know what? I'd rather have some money in the bank than no money in the bank. So here is the what I use to kind of measure my risk to reward. So entered here, exited here, and that gave me a 6.69 risk to reward with 118 points. And it would have been less than 118. Like if I were to, count how many points between the time I pyramided out to my final buyback down here. But, I'm not going to get into like the pennies, but, and then down here, if we just go back to the hourly for a second, just want to show you on the bigger picture, the 1 hour, kind of where we are. This wick here, I have identified on the daily time frame as being an important level. So let's just go to the daily for a second so I can show you. So if we're looking at the daily here, we're right here. We're right here. So you can see that when I do my top-down analysis, and this is still from not last night, but the previous weekend, it's all still current. This is the area here that is unbalanced. So, I anticipate price, just my personal opinion. Don't listen to me, do your own analysis. But in my view, this is probably where price is likely to be attracted to. So so anyway, here's my daily, and we've hit it very nicely now, and then we'll just kind of see what happens for the remainder of the day and then what happens overnight. So I am done trading for the day. I want to have my trade in the morning. It's my favorite time to trade. I want to get my trade in, and then I want to go off and do something else for the rest of the day. I want to spend time with my dog and stuff. So anyway, I hope you have found this helpful. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the space below. And please like, share, and subscribe if this gives you any insight into the trade this morning. Okay, everyone, have an incredible day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.